Hey guys, what's up? It's Biscuit Bill Horror Reviews. I'm here with a Blu-ray, DVD, and vinyl collection update. Um, this is like the first update in over a month, and this is stuff that is like a combination of late birthday presents, um, stuff I've done impulse buys on, stuff I've pre-ordered, and I think there's a couple. It's really not too much, so hopefully this won't be a very long video. I guess I'll start with the Blu-rays and DVDs, starting with the minor stuff before I get to the big set that I want to show. Local record store that I go to every couple of months because they tend to have some interesting stuff. They had the first season of Home Movies for $5, which I was not going to say no to for $5. This is like, it was new, sealed. For those of you who don't know about Home Movies, this was a show that was on in like the late 90s, like from 99 until I think about 2001. It had a pretty decent run. It had about 4 seasons, I think. It's got a pretty big cult following, and the series just this year is celebrating its 20th anniversary. I rewatched the entire series last year after only seeing it when I was, a kid on Adult Swim, and not really getting the humor in it. And now this is legitimately one of my favorite animated series of one of my favorite cartoons of all time. This show was like written by and stars Brendan Small, who on top of being voice actor for a few of the major characters in Metalocalypse, he's also the lead singer of Death Clock. But yeah, you know, 3-disc first season, why not? It's a nice little set. Next we got a Blu-ray here. This is Who Killed Captain Alex and Bad Black. This is a double feature of 2 of the films from Wakaliwood. I won't dwell on this too long because I assume quite a few people know about this. For those of you who don't, Wakaliwood is an extremely low budget, like micro budget production company based out of Uganda, which is a third world country. And they make low budget action movies, and one of their major hits is that's included with this is Who Killed Captain Alex, which is this amazing, hilarious, off the wall, crazy, unhinged hour-long action film with no real kind of plot, and it's legitimately a very entertaining and charming movie, despite its very cheap nature. Bad Black was a recent film from the studio/director, which got its premiere at, I don't know what film festival it actually got its premiere at, but wait a minute. Fantastic Fest is where Bad Black got its premiere, and that film won for like best action film, I think, and I think best action director. It's both. I've watched both of these. I'd already seen Who Killed Captain Alex. I was excited to see Bad Black. Bad Black isn't as good as Who Killed Captain Alex, but this Blu-ray set comes with this Blu-ray DVD set. Obviously, comes with the movie on Blu-ray and DVD, and a ton of special features, including subtitles for like over 100 different subtitle options for both movies. Most specifically, you can watch Who Killed Captain Alex with fucking Klingon subtitles. This whole Blu-ray is one big meme, essentially, and it's kind of amazing. Very happy to have this in my collection, honestly. It's released by AGFA, the American Genre Film Archive, which they do interesting releases of low-budget stuff. Finally, onto the big set. It is one of the new-ish Arrow video sets. the American Horror Project Volume 2. I pre-ordered this like months back. It's pretty much as soon as they fucking announced this one, I had this bad boy on pre-order because I really liked the first American Horror Project box set. Even though only one of the movies out of the set is one that I genuinely, love. The other two are, well, The Witch Who Came from the Sea is okay, and Premonition is mostly forgettable. But I wanted to get this one because it had The Child on it, which The Child is a very interesting, obviously American, kind of horror film that is like a combination of like Italian, like 70s Italian splatter, and movies like Kathy's Curse, for example, because it's very obviously trying to cash in on the success of something like Carrie. One of the other movies in the set is Dark August, which this was my least favorite movie in the set. This one having to do with a guy who accidentally kills the, I think, like granddaughter of a cultist, and he curses the guy. This movie, it's apparently this like, slow burn kind of horror film. I don't really get it. I wasn't that into it personally. It's not like it's necessarily awful, but it was definitely slow. And the last film in the set, which is my second favorite movie in the set, and it would be, honestly, it could have been my favorite movie in the set if I can fucking get it out of the fucking box. This, like all Arrow video sets, this is very high quality release. But the third movie in the set is Dream No Evil. This being one of the ones in the set that I was really, really interested in checking out, because the movie sounds really cool. The problem with it is that for some reason there's a narration in the film from a character who isn't present in the film. But this narrator feels the need to explain everything that's happening, and there's some really great surreal moments in the movie. But the narrator feels the need to butt in and explain. I'm not gonna spoil it, although the movie fucking spoils itself. Need to explain like what is actually going on versus, this just being a weird surreal movie. Like if there would have been no voiceover at all, I think this would have been one of my favorite movies in the set, because there's some really cool surreal moments, and if it would have played itself straight and not ruined its own reveal at the end, it could have been, this could be one of the best psychological horror films, kind of one of the best like surreal fantasy horror films of the 70s. It's definitely weird in its own right, but I don't know. I don't think I'll ever watch it again because I was really disappointed by it, and that's sad to say but very similar to the first American Horror Project box set, we have one movie in the set that I really liked, which was The Child. We got one movie that is, alright, which in this case it is Dream No Evil, and then we got one movie in the set that I really didn't care for, that being Dark August. That being said, this is going up on the shelf with my other nice Arrow video box sets right next to the box set for the first volume. And that's it for the Blu-rays and DVDs. Now onto the vinyls. You can see it right there. I got a poster. I bought a poster for the new Jimmy Screamer Claus short film, The Scuzzies, and it's autographed by him. Because on his online store you can buy a poster for the film or something like that, or merchandise for the film, and he will give you the free download of the uncut version of the short film. On top of that, I also ordered this, which is a like a little 7-inch vinyl that he released himself, which is Suicidal Serpent Servants. Not that I'm necessarily a fan of Jimmy Scream Claus's music. I'm honestly not a fan, like, at all. His music is to be, honest, it's not my cup of tea. It's kind of awful. But there are people who enjoy it, so, more power to you. I mainly bought this because it was kind of a cool little, collector's item to have. It's also autographed by Screamer Claus right there. It says, "To Cody, your soul is as dark as my shit. Love, Screamer Claus." James is a very interesting guy, very interesting director. Really like his stuff. even his music that I don't like, I can appreciate for it being weird. You know, the artwork is very, very surreal, and that's cool. Um, Up next, we got one that is a gift from a friend of mine. He bought me this for my birthday, which was very, very nice and very generous of him. It's the Greasy Strangler soundtrack on vinyl. Um, Holy hell, what can I say about this? The Greasy Strangler is a movie from a few years ago that I really liked, and the music in the film is very interesting. It's this weird mix of like kind of electronic music with some weird kind of pop elements, and there's even some like kind of almost EDM elements to the film. This big pink label on the front is not even is actually a sticker that is on the plastic sleeve. I put it on there because I kind of like I literally put it on the cover because I kind of like it being on the cover. Otherwise, you see the character Big Ronnie, you see his big hanging fucking schlong, which is kind of, you know, it's funny, but like, I can't show this to people if that's on there. So, you know, put the sticker on there. It looks nice. Very nice album. Top it off, this is the limited edition version that has the I'm gonna try to handle this with the utmost care. It has no. It is the pink kind of grease splattered vinyl, which is what they refer to it as, which is very nice. You know, definitely a very nice gift. And yeah, I will cherish this. This is going with my other movie soundtracks that I have. Old Boy, Fritz the Cat, The Witch, Dead Time Stories. What else we got? At the same record store I was mentioning earlier where I got home movies, I also picked up the Black Sabbath debut on vinyl, which this is a very nice release of this album. This is one of my favorite, this is like one of my favorite metal albums of all time, and this is definitely my favorite Black Sabbath album. Master of Reality is definitely a close second. That one's definitely quite the amazing little album, but it's a, you know, just black vinyl, but it's that 180, you know, gram vinyl that's very heavy and thick. What can I say about this album? This is one of the greatest, this is like one of the most influential and iconic albums of the 1970s, arguably, and definitely of all time. I love Black Sabbath. What can I fucking say? This is a great album, especially the title track. The title track is like one of the best fucking metal songs ever made. I would argue that it's the best metal song ever written. But you know, there's some other good tracks on here. The Wizard, Behind the Wall of Sleep, Nib, Wicked World, a bit of Finger. You know, there's some other really great tracks on here. I did say it is like my favorite Sabbath album, and I'm happy to finally find it. And I found this for like 21 bucks, which is not bad at all, considering that when I usually find Black Sabbath albums on vinyl in stores or online, they're usually around like 30 bucks. So I was not mad at that price. Now the last thing I got, which this is what arrived in the mail today, is the debut album from comedian Eric Andre's musical side project called Blarf. This is a cease and desist. I still have the plastic on it. I mean, I've opened the side, but I still have the plastic on it, and I'm probably gonna keep this in a frame, maybe, because the title is legit cease and desist. This is a combination of already copyrighted music and sound effects and audio clips, remixed and thrown and mashed together and then distorted to hell and back. This is like literally just one big middle finger to copyright laws, basically. And I have a feeling that Eric Andre is going to get sued over this. Hence why I bought this album on vinyl immediately, literally like the day it came out, because I didn't want to miss out. I didn't want this to like become a treasured relic that, you know, I didn't want this to disappear because he gets sued over it. Um, but yeah, this album is quite literally something. It literally says on the back, this album is brought to you by Pepsi. And obviously, he's dressed up as Ronald McDonald. And the logo is fucking Burger King. I think that's fucking Michael Jackson on the back of the album, too. It features such classic tracks as Badass Bullshit, Benjamin Button's Butthole Assassin, I Worship Satan, Save It Babe, Banana, I Don't Know, The Me and Me. I haven't listened to this whole album. It's about a half hour long. But it is almost headache-inducingly distorted and like it it's fucking honestly it's an awful album almost. Like what I've listened to it is pretty bad, and I only bought it because A, I love Eric Andre, and B, this could be a collector's item. So this is probably, I might listen to this maybe once and put it in a frame very similar to my Hotline Miami vinyl. But with that, I'm actually out of things to show off in this video, so I'm going to go ahead and just, you know, take my leave. Anyway, guys, this is Biscuit Boo Horror Reviews, signing off. Peace.